Hi everyone, it's Mark here. Hackathons are really a lot of fun and they're great experiential learning too. So I want to walk you through, as an introduction here, some of the things that we have in mind for you. So I'm going to refer to the website that we have. Um, so that might be your first place to go to find out more information about the hackathon. We want to make sure that you understand that it is open and inclusive. So it doesn't matter if you're um, computer engineer, if you're a nurse, if you're a PSW, if a biologist. It doesn't matter if you go to Seneca or if you go to another college. Form a group with your friends and take a look at what we have. The topic, the subject matter for the hackathon is digital health. Now, one thing here is that the forces that have sort of kept us at home and caused this pandemic are rapidly accelerating the trends towards a digital health ecosystem. And so the opportunities for innovation and the opportunities for um, jobs and careers, et cetera, in this area are going to be explosive. And it's not just doctors and nurses and PSWs. It's especially because it's digital health. It's especially folks that are involved in the computer sciences area, programming, web development, et cetera. We have awesome sponsors, really big forces that want to innovate together with you. Salesforce, for instance, is one of our partners. They're in the midst of working with the governments, the provincial governments, federal governments, and all kinds of initiatives that deal with digital health, implementing digital health playbooks, also being front and center in terms of vaccine rollouts and things like that. The folks at Salesforce that have sponsored this have told me there's a requirement to hire thousands of graduates to get involved in a digital health ecosystem. Uh, Equally, Microsoft, a gigantic partner, again, wanting to work with us, especially in the healthcare sector, to figure out how we can use IoT devices. So it's not just the tech companies here. We're also working directly with some of the stakeholders in the health segment. So Markham Stouffville Hospital's working with us. Really interesting projects for you to do. A really big one that we're proud of is association with the Canadian Association for Mental Health, CAMH. All kinds of tech partners that are really keen on helping out and identifying talent that can be used and assimilated into this very large market that's building up. So Thinking North is a special kind of partner. This is a group of people, a group of Bay Street investors that are angel investors that are looking to help startup companies. Yeah, uh, very instrumental partner, a business partner with Microsoft. Roche, massive global pharma company that is working with us in their data science coalition. Sightline Innovation, Canadian leader in artificial intelligence. Octochain, we have some blockchain companies, we have some cannabis companies, and we have companies oriented to um, using technology to support Generation Z. Um, this is sort of the motto here, but one of the reasons you really want to do this, you you know, students are constantly complaining about, well, I can't get a job because I don't have experience, and you can't get experience because you don't have a job. So this is sort of the answer to all your questions, because the stakeholders that you have here, the customers that you have here, the systems that you develop here, these are all things that you can reference in your resume. So the challenges that we have for you, I want you to drill down and look at these in more detail. But the first challenge is non-invasive monitoring system to support elder care. So the idea there is um, elders, especially, like let's say it's your grandma or grandpa who's living at home. You don't want them to go to a hospital, or you don't want them to go to home because they're perfectly happy, but you need to monitor them because they're worried about, let's say, a fall, or let's say they're worried about, stroke or something like this. And it's very important, if that sort of thing happens, that on an emergency basis, somebody comes and helps them, because if you do, everything will be fine. And if you don't, you might very easily die. So you want to have monitoring type of systems so you can rest at peace that your loved ones are okay, but you want to do it in a non-intrusive way. So having closed circuit TVs monitoring what your grandpa is doing at home, that's invasive, right? Having bracelets that you have to wear, that's invasive. So there's a whole generation of non-invasive IoT devices. And the cool thing here is, look, we have sponsorship from iVita, we have sponsorship from Microsoft. They're willing to, like, if you have a device that you have in mind, they'll ship it to your home so you can use it. Instances to use Microsoft Azure IoT for cloud, it's there for you to use, innovate, and it'll be awesome. The second one here, the digital health passport. Again, I think it's probably something that you can relate to because eventually we're going to sort of return to normal, but who knows what that's going to be, and especially probably to really move around, to go back to campus, to go back to sporting events, wherever you want to go, there's going to be the need for some kind of a vaccination or health passport to let you in. And a flimsy piece of paper that you're given at the vaccination center, that's not going to do the trick. So we have sophisticated electronic systems, probably connected with your some form of wallet on your cell phone that we need to have in place here. So this is where Salesforce is involved directly with our governments, along with IBM and other companies. And again, they'll make instances available for you. They're looking for innovation and help. And also, if you realize it, this is going to be booming opportunities for people interested. The cannabis marketplace has got tremendous opportunity for anyone that's interested. We sort of follow the whole sort of consumer life cycle here. It starts with people interested in the products, but not really knowing what's appropriate. There's the cannabis plant is very complex. Uh, there's all kinds of different things and benefits and effects that you can get from it, but categorically there's medicinal type of uses of the cannabis to alleviate, let's say, anxiety or joint pain, etc. And then there's recreational uses, all of which are legal in Canada. But if you go through the journey there, it's how can you find out more about which product might be the right one for you? How can you order it, get it shipped to your door in a way that's safe and especially private? You don't want people sort of understanding what your transaction history there is. So there's a lot of privacy requirements. Then when the product arrives, how can you make sure that it's actually authentic and the origin of the product. So there's lots of blockchain applications to kind of trace the supply chain, make sure that what you've received isn't laced with fentanyl or something like this. And then finally, there's the post-consumer experience where there's a huge value placed on data that says, look, I bought this particular product. This is how I was expecting it to do, and this is what it actually did. So this ability to sort of survey and help improve the branding and the quality of the products, huge opportunities for you. Patient data consent. Data consent is a big topic in the health because health data is very private data, but it can also be life-saving, maybe for you. It can be life-saving for other people as well. So how to actually consent for this hugely valuable data to be used is a great matter of importance. We're fortunate to be working with Capital Blockchain that's working on this project and highly interested in working with the students. One of our showcase challenge sets is dealing with mental health issues. I think the pandemic and the lockdown has made people quite aware of just how serious it is. And together with the Canadian Association for Mental Health, we're just really looking for, anything to help better understand or to help innovate on how we can alleviate some of these problems. Specifically, the three areas is problem gambling, um, video game addiction. Sort of survey thing. I'm not sure. It's what everybody seems to be doing it, especially during the pandemic. Is it a problem or is it not? But a social media addiction is the real sort of sleeper here, and there's a lot to it. And so there's a tremendous opportunity for you to innovate, no matter what your background is. Even if you're not a computer person, this is great because we just want more insight into how it works, what happens, what might be effective ways of identifying people, helping, etc. So huge opportunity, really welcome you there. Telemedicine, it's more like an open chapter, so you can innovate there. We're very fortunate to work with Roche Data Science. And if you're interested in that kind of path, we're moving on to how to support rare disease research. And I specifically want to look at the ALS. So we did this as a challenge set for the last hackathon, where it was COVID-19 data sets that we chased. But we're sort of moving on from that and going into rare disease research. Very, very esteemed organization, very privileged to be able to work with them. And then finally, working directly with Markham Stouffville Hospital, we understand the enormous challenges that they're facing when it comes to staffing. I think many of these things are front and center in the papers, but we're looking for anyone, PSW students, nursing students, business students, um, computer student, anyone to form teams to help. How can how can we help use technology to support staffing assignments and all the complexities that are involved in there, including the need for credentials, including the need to adhere to collective bargaining agreements and to comply with hospital-specific rules. So we have fantastic challenge sets here, and as a first level, I want to encourage you, even if you're not quite sure, if you're not sure which challenge set, but say, hey, I want to sign up for the hackathon. Register now, and whatever it is, the student success team will reach out to you and help place you into a team if you're not in a team. And if you are in a team, just let us know who it is. And there's going to be more and more information available to you as the dates come up. During the hackathon itself, there's going to be mentoring opportunities for you from these sponsors that we have here. Some of the sponsors more on the technical side, some of the sponsors to give you insight into what the business problems are. So go ahead and accept the challenge. Come on board. Our last one was fabulous. We had over 400 students participate. And go ahead and take a look here at click this link to get a feeling for what it was like. Having an in-person hackathon is a fabulous experience. Students and participants just absolutely love it. It's one of the most fun events that we've had. So we've gone out of our way to try to recreate some of the real excitement and camaraderie and teamwork that happens. And you know something? It's worked out extremely well. So the virtual hackathon forum is fun and exciting, and we're going to go out of our way to make it a fantastic and career-altering experiential learning opportunity for you. So thanks, everyone.